Ciao Bella! Come stai oggi? Ciao!
Oh, look at you!
I am a golden fucking god! Fuck these kids! Then into the casino, I noticed a loose stone. Underneath was an old box containing an original copy of the Secretum Secretorum. There was an immense shift to like overhiring and overspending during the height of COVID in 2020 and 2021 because so many people were staying at home and playing games that the industry saw a pretty big boom. There's been so many bad decisions up top with people chasing trends that are, you know, years behind by the time these games have published. That's what you saw with Concord. That's what you saw with X Defiant. Wow, damn, I have a huge bag. What's frustrating about this is that there are valid issues going on in the industry, but people who fundamentally misunderstand the industry, all of these issues are being blamed on people of color, queer folks, and other people that have been hired into these roles at these companies. And bad actors in this space become obsessed with monitoring every movement of a person that has become, you know, centered. Bad actors in this.
Woo! Down one on the roof over here. God damn, that was pretty.
Jarvis commence goon. You can activate that army. They come in through Gamergate or whatever, and then they get turned into politics and Trump. Steve Bannon himself, who was the chief strategist of the Trump White House, said this. He fucking said it. He fucking said it. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Features a squeaker. I need a second.
Can I call you back in like 2 minutes? I'm in the middle of a meeting.
This is like nothing for me. This is a light day. Go, 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 go. Ah! Many of the biggest Switch emulation communities often overlap with groups promoting Switch piracy. And that is not something that I will ever promote on my stream or in writing. Okay, Nintendo? I'm not promoting piracy. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. How did he die? Jarvis, Google hot MILFs in my area. Jarvis, tug on my balls. Jarvis, show me this guy's balls, please. Yes. Jarvis, open grinder.
I'll be in here alone.
Okay, okay, pop off.
Jarvis, jerk my peanuts. Close the door. Whoa. Okay, we're done. We're done. Okay, you're done. Sorry, fascist doggy. You didn't ask for that job. You didn't ask for it. Jarvis, empty this man's balls. You okay? I'm sorry I upset. Whoa, bro! What the fuck, dude? What the fuck, dude? Dude, I love dogs. I rescue dogs. I love dogs.
Do not let me do any more Jarvis jokes today.
Girl, stop! Stop it right now! You stop it! I can't do it. I can.
Games and or perks from any AAA publishers. And
actually hurt. I'm gonna wipe the floor with these fucking kids. Holy fucking shit!
Mommy makes the rules here.
That actually hurt. Hello. Are we live? Are we live and alive? Good morning. Buongiorno, buon pomeriggio, buonasera, come stai? Oggi è il 4 aprile and it's Friday. They, them, Nintendo attacking America. Hi, Sean. Hi, guys. I'm wearing my hat that I got from my birthday drag dinner. That was the thing I was not allowed to say because I did not want anyone to try and go there who did not like me and wanted to make these queens' lives miserable. Here's my hat. It says, drag me to Joanne's because we were at Joanne Trattoria on the Upper West Side, Lady Gaga's dad's restaurant, and we watched... we had dinner and a show. We watched some drag queens perform while we ate pasta. You know, like, can it get any fucking better than that?
Trans rights.
Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. I have, things to talk about. Thank you so much. Yes, okay, that's on my list for sure. I think I already have a tariff. Oh, and Ubisoft. Yeah, okay, amazing. Thank you so much, Raj. So... It's Friday. I'm now 35. We are, wow, how did we lose so many subs? We had so many subs on Wednesday. Anyway, I wasn't going to stream because I have so many apartments to look at today. And I have a very tight turnover Rolling Stone piece that I need to work on and get ready for Monday. Thank you so much. Yes, I am 35 years old. I turned 35 on Wednesday. Cheers to that. So I do want to talk about some big game news and hopefully shed a little light on some of the big things that have been happening over the past few days. I'm an old viewer on an alt because I got banned. Oh no. I'm not sure why you got banned. 35 is the new 25. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I used to say it was all the Botox I get, but I can't justify getting Botox right now because I don't have a job. Suspended. Uh-oh, well, what did you do? What did you do? Happy late birthday. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. It was a lovely night. You said a bad word. Uh-oh. Do I want to know what kind of bad word you said? We are, I'll show you guys really quickly what the fit was. Also, I'm sorry. This just made me laugh so hard. Like, is everybody having a good time? Thank you so much. The fit was so cute. The request for, as my friend posted, she posted the little screenshot of this is one of my friends, Carrie Whitmer, who's an incredible pop culture writer. This was the requirement. I don't think, she might have posted it on Instagram. So in the invite, thank you so much. In the invite for my party, I said, please come dressed in your best Mob Wives attire. Think Mob Wives, think Donatella Versace's 40-inch wig, think House of Gucci, think the Pope calling you an F-slur. And this is what Carrie came up with. My fit was head-to-toe leopard. Hey! I'm working so I have to dip. The goon haunts you. My fit was head-to-toe leopard. All of this is thrifted. And then I met a queen, an icon, on the way after dinner, whose name was Lucy, and we matched. Like, look at us together. Is that not the cutest? What's up, Dan? Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? Like, look. And of course, it's the Upper West Side, so her mom's like a tried and true old New Yorker, and she's like, oh my God, I want to get a picture of you two because you match. And then I had to walk her through using her phone camera while she was holding Lucy on the leash. Did you say to them, one of us has to change? Isn't she so cute? And we matched so perfect. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, and underneath the dress, underneath the jacket was this fit. This is also thrifted. And we've got thrifted earrings and one of my mom's old pendants, like religious. I don't even know which saint it is. Hang on.
It's gotta be someone that she's. I mean, she loves Padre Pio.
Trans rights.
Oh, it just looks like it's the Virgin Mary. And then I also had on my, like, Saints, bracelet. That dress was a great find, right? Right? You look like a tech. Thank you so much. Yeah, Saint Gabagool. Exactly. Yeah, I was living for this outfit. The only thing was, though, this material did not breathe very well. And I had severely underestimated my time. Turns out I have, when you have really bad ADHD, you're bad at time management. And so I was streaming with you guys, and then I had to get ready for this dinner, and I completely did not give myself enough time. So I was in full-blown panic mode. I, did not like the way my makeup came out, my hair came out. I was just rushing, and I was, a little bit late to dinner. So I was running. That's the other picture here. I was running to dinner in these heels and this coat, and by the time I got to dinner, thank God it dried. You can't really see it. Every single place that was ruched was covered in my sweat. It vacuum sealed my sweat into me, this dress. But I will say it looked absolutely banger, stupid, dumb hot on me, and I will be wearing it again. And for a thrifted find that I got as a joke, I mean, you can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong. Also, the nails, I didn't do this on purpose because I wasn't paying attention. But the nails match this. I still have them on. I finally got my nails done. It's been months, but I got a little cute kind of creamsicle, shiny creamsicle. Gamer sweat is not free. So we love it. We had a great birthday. Everyone was really kind. My friends showed up and showed out. Everyone looked cute. Shane wrote me the sweetest card that made me cry a little bit because he calls me his little passion flower. Do you guys know what passion flowers look like? They're crazy looking. So yeah, he calls me his little passion flower. And he drew a card with a passion flower on the front. And then inside was your refusal to back down in the face of so much, shit is why I call you my little passion flower. So then I cried my eyes out. And then we went to dinner. I'm gonna sneeze. Damn, son. Okay, so we have a lot to talk about, and we are on borrowed time because I have other apartments I need to go look at, but I really wanted to spend some time with y'all because there's been so much stuff going on. There's so much news. The news, it just doesn't stop. And I wanted to make sure that we had a chance to sit and chat, especially with this tariff stuff, because I know that these tariffs are very kind of confusing, they're frustrating. It's really difficult to understand exactly what they are and why they exist. For a little funny frame of reference, the only other times that there have been tariffs as far reaching and as wide as the ones that Trump has put into place were 18 something and 1930, and they both kicked off depressions. So I'm really hoping that's not the case since I'm currently unemployed and don't have an apartment. And I'm hoping that's not the case for everyone else. But a tariff is basically a duty imposed by the government on a country or a territory that basically charges them, increases the cost for them to import their goods, to send their goods. It's used as a way to, who would have thought tariffs would be anti-gamer, aside from every queer person who said this would happen. The mass and decision. Oh, Kingpin, if you can lend any credence to this, that would be amazing. Not credence, any extra knowledge, that would be amazing. They're a source of revenue mostly, but they're also a regulation thing that basically it makes it so that it's supposed to help domestic goods, and it's supposed to help deter people from, only buying foreign goods. And this is something that, yes, so that's the other thing I want to talk about as well. The AI thing. Could someone send me that link of the random territories that were listed in the tariffs? Because I know that it's crazy. Also, I'm so sorry, but I'm eating my gruel. I haven't had any time to eat breakfast, so I'm eating my gruel, which is overnight oats. Overnight oats. Oh my God, what's the little brown things in here, Alyssa? Chia seeds, overnight oats, chia seeds, almond butter, and yogurt and blueberries. So sorry. Yes, can someone send me the link of that? So, tariffs are supposed to help encourage you to buy domestic. And that's something that Trump and a lot of right-wingers have said, you know, buy American. Meanwhile, Trump's MAGA hats are made in China. Yes, I highly recommend if you're trying to get into like a healthier eating regimen, and you might be like me and might have severe ADHD or be like very frequently crippled with depression and you can't make things regularly, overnight oats is a fantastic way to guarantee that you're eating a nice breakfast. And then you can just dump stuff in there and put it in the microwave. It's really easy to make. So look up a recipe. It's literally just like rolled oats, milk. I use oat milk. I put chia seeds in there, a little bit of cinnamon, some sugar, some salt, and then you just put it in the fridge. Yes, please, if someone can find the link of that. Fuck, I know that I liked it. At least I think that I liked it. Let's look. Your likes are private. Well, not now when I have them on stream. Not now. Most of them are Emma Frost. Most of them are Emma Frost. Most of them are Emma Frost. Also, oh my god, Keith David and Kurt Russell haven't seen each other in like 4 decades, and this is the first time.
You were in Atlanta about 2 weeks ago.
How are you, man? Oh, this is a long week. You look terrific. I'm hanging, bro. We're all, you know, those of us.
Look at them. Sorry, that was, oh yeah, here we go. This is the thing I was thinking about. So, Keith David, John Carpenter got, hello, thank you so much, Autumn. They still don't know which one of them is the thing. Yeah, we're going to talk Emma Frost. Don't worry. We're going to talk Emma Frost. My birthday was amazing. Thank you so much. My sister's still coming in this weekend to do birthday stuff because her birthday is a couple of days before mine, but she works in a school, so she's like the Long Island cat fire. 200 cats survived and they're being assholes and hiding on the property. Of course they are, Dan. God, that broke my heart. I shared this, if anybody, I'll try not to get too distracted, but there was a really horrible fire at the biggest cat sanctuary, I believe, on Long Island. And the guy who owns it died running in there trying to save the cats. But it appears that there are still several, and a lot of the cats died as well, but there are still cats that are alive. And they are, I will bring this up here and I'll drop it in the Happy Cat Sanctuary, help me. Go find me. So I'm gonna drop this in the chat. If you guys just want to signal boost it, yeah, the tabletop angle is big. If you guys just want to signal boost it, this is Chris Arsenault. So what's really sad about, oh god, I don't want to cry. They've raised so much money, which makes me really happy. But what's really sad about Chris is, oh my god, he lost his son in a motorcycle accident 20 years ago, and he dedicated his life from that point forward to cat rescue. And he had this massive piece of land out in Medford, Long Island, that was also his home, is also where he lived, but he barely took up any space. He was like living in like an 8x10 room, and the rest was dedicated to this cat rescue and this cat sanctuary. There were so many there were all these like fun outdoor things, like enrichment spaces for them. He really understood cats. Like, you know, they had all these logs. You can kind of see them in the pictures behind him. They had all these like logs they could play on, and like scratchers and like hay bales to sleep in. And yeah, the place just burned. It burnt horribly bad, and he died. He died going in there trying to save the cats. So, if you can signal boost this, or if you can throw a little bit of money, actually, I'm going to give a little bit right now, because I got some birthday money. Let's give my lucky number. And I'm going to move this just so you guys can't see my information. God, that's so sad. That is just so fucking sad. Yeah, not all the outdoor space burned. Yeah, you're right, Dan. It really just breaks my heart. Okay, we're sending them. We just sent them $15, guys. So hopefully it goes through. Yay! We did. Ta-da! That's great. So, in better news, just kidding. these tariffs that we're talking about. So I still don't fully understand why these were done in the first place. As you can see from someone here, they've just asked ChatGPT to spit out a spreadsheet, didn't they? He just said half the trade deficit and made that the tariff percentage. He's declared a 10% tariff on the McDonald and Heard Islands, which are uninhabited rocks in the southern Indian Ocean. The idea is that he essentially, like, and this stuff kind of confused me, but he essentially, like, just reciprocate, like, literally, like, if you see here, reunion, whatever this is, it was 73% tariffs charged to the U.S., and then they just reversed it. Like, they worked out the tariffs. Other countries charge the U.S. purely on trade deficit divided by countries' exports. That is dumb as it is, but it also doesn't take into account services that the U.S. massively export to the rest of the world. Shocker. So I think what we've learned here, and it's something that we've learned in video games all the time, is that people who have positions of power in these spaces were likely, because of a lot of things like nepotism or familial wealth, all of these things that DEI programs try and counteract to ensure that the best, smartest, most capable people are considered for roles instead of just the people who have familial ties or, you know, nepotism and shit like that. A lot of these people, like Elon Musk, who bought the companies that he owns, he didn't make the companies, and Donald Trump, who was given a small loan of $1 million to start his company when he was young, and who used strong-arm tactics to ensure that he could continue to break laws in New York City when he was mostly just a real estate mogul. It's very much clear that these people are actually not qualified to do these kinds of jobs, and they just think that just like the rest of their life, they can just kind of wing it, coast, and just make knee-jerk decisions based on very little information because that's worked for them before. The penguins are packing up and leaving? That's not funny. Penguins leaving Heard Island. Is this what you voted for? Okay, so the tariffs are not broken down by country. They're broken down by top-level internet domain. It's why islands that are populated entirely by penguins and why the Diego Garcia military base are listed. Also why Reunion and Gibraltar are listed separately from France and the UK. They 100% used an LLM to generate this list and didn't catch this mistake because they're all dumb as rocks. So this is how I feel about, you know, high-level people working in video games who continue to make ill-advised decisions that then only affect people on the lower rungs of the ladder. This is how I feel about right-wing grifters who have become voices in this space that don't understand social cues like jokes, who don't do any sort of research before making absolutely wild accusations, and in some cases defamatory accusations. This is all connected because of Trump, because of Musk, because of Gamergate, because of the internet, mediocre, idiotic people have succeeded, and they've now succeeded and failed their way up to being in a position of power where this was always going to be the end result. And I knew when Gamergate 2 started kicking off this time last year, I knew that this was going to have far-reaching effects on politics, because it's exactly what happened with Gamergate in 2014, right? They recognized that there was a large enough voting bloc of angry incel men, and the few married men who still behave like incels among them, one of which we know very well on this show, and that they would be able to leverage that anger and tell them that, oh, the thing that you're experiencing in video games, that's happening everywhere. The idea that there's DEI hires here, there, and elsewhere, and they're affecting the quality of your product, and they're making it unsafe to fly, yeah, they're connected, babe. DEI has infested this entire fucking country, and we need to rip it out by the root and replace it with people who are nepotism hires and have absolutely no experience in the government, because that's better. I can't believe it. So what are the major things? And we talked about this months ago. When Trump first got into office, we were talking about how tariffs could affect it, just like before we even fully understood what he was doing. This is when he was kind of threatening widespread tariffs on like Mexico and China, like his two least favorite places. The places that he's the most racist towards, Mexico and China. He was like, I want to do tariffs, Mexico and China. they don't pay enough money. It's not fair. It's not okay.
rights.
This is not how we do things here. In order for us to make money, I don't know how to do a Trump. How do we do it? It's gotta be fair. It's gotta be even. We need to charge them more tariffs so we can make more money and make America great again. Anyway. The fundamental flaw with white supremacy is that it breeds incompetence. Lexi, spit harder. It's an ideology that tells its believers that they are inherently exceptional just by being white. Sadly for them, reality doesn't give a shit and exposes their ineptitude. Lexi, conjurer, speak the motherfuck on it. We're pinning that to the fucking chat. We're pinning it to the fucking chat. And I can only do the accordion hands. So before we knew exactly what kind of tariffs Trump was putting into place, I remember sitting with you guys and having a conversation about how I felt that, and people had said this as well, that if he was going to place like intense tariffs, thank you for the follow, on Mexico and China, and then it ended up being Canada as well. One of the big side effects of that would be the cost of physical game prices, because a lot of discs are printed in Mexico. And we already know that there's a huge issue with the decrease of physical media and video games and the shift towards digital. But we did not expect these kinds of, and we had a feeling, because like obviously a lot of components that go into tech products and consoles, things like that, peripherals, they are all made in other countries. Oh, more hands and you have to suddenly see a bug and restart your sentence or thought. And it's not nice.
Trans
It's
rights.
A lot of people would be angry with me. I can't do it. It's not my best, okay? So we had a feeling that there was going to be some pretty widespread ramifications for gamers. And what's really funny, and again, this is something that I've talked about before, is Donald Trump and his ilk and Elon Musk, they've all kind of made themselves, you know, gamers love them. Right-wing gamers love them. Donald Trump blamed violent video games for the Uvalde shooting like 5-6 years ago. Okay? Like, okay. And now I'm doing Hassan. Okay? And he also was the one who first proposed a TikTok ban. So this guy doesn't give a fuck about gamers. I know, especially. Like, Elon is that kind of halfway in between where he's obsessed with gamers thinking that he's actually good at things. But Trump don't give a fuck. Trump's too old. He's too rich. He's too, like, wannabe jock adjacent to understand gamers, to give a fuck about gamers, right? That's why Bannon was the reason why, you know, Trump even cozied up to gamers, because it was through Bannon. Because Bannon knew all this shit. But one of the biggest ramifications of these wide sweeping tariffs, which went into place yesterday, and let's look at them full blown, China retaliates with 34% tariffs. 34% reciprocal tariffs on imports of U.S. goods. China said Friday that it will impose reciprocal 34% tariffs on all imports from the United States from April 10th, making good on a promise to strike back after President Trump escalated a global trade war. On Wednesday, Trump unveiled an additional 34% tariff on all Chinese goods imported into the U.S. in a move poised to cause, to cause a major reset of relations and worsen trade tensions between the world's two largest economies. The practice of the U.S. is not in line with international trade rules, seriously undermines China's legitimate rights and interests, and is a typical unilateral bullying practice. Yes, hold on. Did Star Wars The Phantom Menace really predict the trade wars? How The Phantom Menace trade wars can help you understand our political moment. Are you guys ready? There are many scary things to come. We thought the world would end to nukes. It turns out tariffs all along. Yep. Missed when everything was woke and we still had money. Yeah, DEI. DEI, man. Okay. For those who haven't seen the Star Wars prequel, okay, don't talk shit about the Star Wars prequel. Focusing on a blockade of the distant planet Naboo by the increasingly rapacious Trade Federation. It's less a Star Wars film and more a 2-hour trade negotiation with a minimal bit of Jedi fighting thrown in. And also, let's remember that the Gungans, no, not the Gungans, excuse me, the Trade Federation, they were they were pretty obvious caricatures of Chinese people. Am I right or am I right? Am I right or am I right? They were pretty obvious caricatures of Chinese people. He's actually helped China out by being this blanket. If he focused wholly on tariffs for China, it might have impacted them as he wants, but it's basically catapulting China. Yep. Prequel trilogy was mostly correct. There was a lot of casual racism in that movie. Yeah, because Watto was also, like, incredibly Jewish coded, and it was like, isn't he obsessed with money? Technically, they retcon the accident in later. Yeah, in the Clone Wars, they don't talk like that. The Clone Wars animated. Or was it in Bad Batch? So, picture the Brexit talks, except David Davis and Michael Barnier had lightsabers that they only used right at the end. Just imagine being a Star Wars fan watching it for the first time. For 26 years, it's been held up as the hubris of creator George Lucas, not him holding this. The idea that Darth Vader could be birthed from something as mundane as a trade dispute on planet Naboo seemed ridiculous. And then, with so many things that seemed ridiculous, along came Donald Trump. Oh yeah, the acolyte. This week's tariff madness and the effect it will surely have on the American Republic and the rest of the world has made many, myself included, reappraise the film and recognize that it is perhaps quite prescient. Lucas's obsession with the taxation of the Republic can be seen less as a creator losing themselves in the minutiae of their own creation, and more as a warning of how trading systems can be weaponized. The stranglehold that the Trade Federation places on Naboo is similar to the one the current American government is threatening over the economies of developing countries like Lesotho and Vietnam. I'm trying to do the voice that Padme does in Phantom Menace. And then sometimes it's also Keira Knightley talking like, no, now I sound... He is a nice guy. Ahmed Best and I have hung out. He is a great guy. Yeah, we're going to watch the prequels again. Also, hello, Revenge of the Sith is going to be in 40X. Like we talked about this on Wednesday. Naboo will not... I need to remember one of her lines. Can someone send me one of Padme's lines that she says when she's, like, in the... when she's still doing, like, the... masking her voice? I want to try and get it. In this context, previously weak lines take on new meaning. Early on, before the negotiations turn violent, Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon Jinn murmurs, I sense an unusual amount of fear for something as trivial as a trade dispute. Deftly pointing out that when trade disputes are used to impoverish and starve one's enemies as a proxy for war... there's nothing trivial about them. Hi, Azim. Yeah, it was giving Michael Caine. Yeah, Alyssa Knightley. That's my Keira Knightley. These are Tinkin people gonna die? I hope not. Oh, here we go. What's this? Is this Padme? Yes. Oh, is it the racist?
Sir, a transmission from the planet.
Yes! Thank you, Dan.
Queen Amidala Hassan.
Oh, it froze. I'm doing too many things at once. It says, girl, make up your mind. Can you focus?
At last, we are getting results. Again, you come before us, your highness.
You will not be so pleased when you hear what I have to say, Viceroy.
You will not be so pleased when you see what I have to say, Viceroy. How's that?
Your trade boycott of our planet has ended.
I was not aware of
You will not be so pleased when you hear what I have to say, Viceroy. Xbox and Microsoft Gaming got added to the boycott list for Palestine. Send it to me and tell me why.
such failure.
I have word that the Chancellor's ambassadors are with you now, and that you have been commanded to reach a settlement.
I have word that the Chancellor's ambassadors are with you now, and you have been commanded to reach a settlement.
I know nothing of any ambassadors. You must be mistaken.
Godzilla,
Beware, Vice.
do me a favor, Christy, ban him. I'm just kidding. Godzilla wrote Viceroy. Where's Vice Siegfried? Banned.
Viceroy. The Federation has gone too far this time.
What's great about this is like being able to clock when it's Natalie and when it's Kira.
We would never do anything without
This
the
is the most
approval of the
racist voice
Senate.
I've ever heard in my life.
You assume too much.
We will see.
Right. The sen-
So, we're not going to talk about the terrible parts. The Trade Federation's own rapacious desire for profit over all else, and the deal they do with the dark side despite their own unease, feels worryingly similar to how the CEOs of Amazon, Meta, and Google have all bent the knee to the Trump administration. BDS calls for boycott of Microsoft. Thank you. We'll look at that in a second. The increasing political power of the Trade Federation and the way that they have stymied the Galactic Senate brings to mind the way that the legislative arm of the United States has been hollowed out by lobbying and neutered by the richest and most online man in the world. This is actually crazy. The fact Princess Amidala thinks the Senate will save Naboo, despite all evidence to the contrary, reflects the unfounded belief of many Americans that Republican senators will grow a spine and the checks and balances will suddenly revive themselves to constrain Trump. This is how democracy dies. Thunderous applause. I can only do this. Ready? Hang on. Anakin, you're going down a path I can't follow. Killing younglings? Anakin, you're going down a path I can't follow. There's even something in the way that Senator Palpatine, who will later become the evil emperor, complete with lightning hands and bathrobe, is treated by everyone as a stand-up guy, despite the fact that he is very obviously evil. So is George Lucas some kind of modern-day Cassandra? No. Well, ultimately, though, there was something that the Phantom Menace's trade war premonition missed. Just how stupid all of this is. Liar! You have done that yourself. Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy. Sorry. This is so funny. Who wrote this? Lucas filled the script with tense technical jargon and slick politicians engineering crises to justify a collapse in totalitarianism. It turns out that he didn't need to bother. He could have just had a crawl at the start that said the Emperor has lost his mind. Viceroy Gunray's son is wiping snot on the walls of a Coruscant palace, and everyone is basically fine with it. Now get ready for 2 hours of pod racing. Whoever wrote this, I like you, Jack. Oh, he's a comedy writer. Okay, well, that's why you're so good at this. This was really fucking good. We're giving Jack Bernhardt an immediate follow. Any relation to Sarah? Any relation to Sarah, Jack? Jack, any relation to Sarah? Only a Sith deals in absolutes. If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. You were my brother, Anakin. You were meant to bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. So, because of the stupid trade war that has now been put in place by not even an emperor, you can't even call him Palpatine because there's nothing. How many subs for one person reading of the entire film? Dude, we hit 200. We hit this subscription goal at the bottom, 220. I will act out all of the Phantom Menace. Newt Gunray is on space Twitter calling children the R slur again. Are you an angel? Hang on, I need a bite of my gloop. Live fast, die wet. Hell yeah, brother. Are you an angel? Okay, so one of the biggest side effects of Newt Gunray and Chancellor Palpatine's trade war is that the Switch 2, which we just got all the details of on Wednesday, we just got excited and hyped for it, if that's your kind of thing and you have that sort of disposable income. Does that mean God exists? No. I'm God. Oh, you mean him asking, are you an angel, means like God or Christian? Interesting. I don't get Dooku's thing. He tells Obi-Wan that a Sith has taken control of the Republic. Like, why? His combat in Clone Wars. Listen, we could talk. I don't want to get too sidetracked. You can obviously see here, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And I have made lists before, I'm pretty sure at Games Radar, of if you've never watched the Clone Wars, what episodes of the Clone Wars you should watch, because obviously a lot of the Clone Wars, there's a lot of episodes, and some of them are not good, and it's a kid's show. But the Clone Wars is the only proper representation of Anakin and Obi-Wan's brotherhood and friendship. What is this? Oh, fuck yeah. Also, like, the names, though. Like, Darth Maul's brother's name is Savage Opress. Like, I know they say Savage, but it's like, girl, bye. Wait, Dan, you're helping me get sidetracked. Clone Wars rips. Yeah, his name is Savage Opress. This is your, yeah.
I sense a presence. A presence I
Yep,
haven't
Scumbagano.
felt since Master.
Music.
Master.
I am most impressed to see you have survived your injuries.
I used your training, Master, and I have built all this in hopes of returning to your side.
How unfortunate that you are attempting to deceive me.
Master?
You have become a rival!
Yeah, the Chuds hate Disney Star Wars because, you know, there's not racist Chinese caricatures. And Watto going, hey, little Lenny! Do you think Watto would be... I'm not gonna do it. He says, I got 2 sabers. We're not gonna do the Watto. No, this is sick. You guys don't realize, like, the Clone Wars is very good. When it's good, it's very fucking good. There's a whole, like, arc. It's insane. There's a whole arc about Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka finding a planet that houses, like, the actual, like, proper essence of the Force represented by a father and his son and his daughter, and it's like balanced light and dark, and Anakin and Obi-Wan and Ahsoka slot into those roles as well during this arc. And it's one of the coolest things ever. Like the Night Sisters episodes where you get to meet like the Force witches, anything with Ahsoka's storyline and her disillusion with the Jedi Order, anything that kind of focuses on Maul, Obi-Wan's love arc. Yes, he gets one. Yes, the prequels make sense after you view Clone Wars. That said, you shouldn't need footnotes. Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Watto is uncircumcised. Obi-Wan's lover gets murdered by Maul. Agree with this, Pastel. So actually, one of the coolest things is, we'll do this really quick and then we'll get back to, Maulverse. This is cool because, so this was, if you guys don't know how this worked, so basically, the Clone Wars came out. First thing, you gotta skip the filler episodes, exactly, Shaggy. The Clone Wars starts out as a movie, and that movie sucks. It's not good. It's very much like, it's very much a kid's movie. It's about, like, a baby Hutt, I think. And, like, you meet Ahsoka, you meet Anakin, all of that stuff. But it's not good. And then it gets picked up as a TV show. It was already, like, a movie that debuted on TV. But then it gets picked up as a TV series. And then there's, like, a huge gap when the series, like, ends. and it ended in like 2016 basically. And what was going on from 2016 to like 2021 or 2020 was people were trying to, because they left a lot of stuff on the table. There was like half made, not fully animated episodes. There were storylines that they still wanted to touch on, and so they went back and they did, with after like Disney and all this stuff kind of took over, they did a 7th and final season of 12 episodes, which aired in 2020. And that's where this comes from, which I think is probably one of the best lightsaber fights of all time in Star Wars. But what's really cool about this is it's actually Ray Park. Ahsoka should have died fighting Vader. I like that. This is actually, it's 3 episodes of the show. So what's really cool is this is Ray Park, the guy who plays Darth Maul in Phantom Menace. It's Ray Park fighting a fully choreographed fight with another stunt double who's playing Ahsoka. They fully choreographed this fight, and they did he did the full mocap for it, which is really fucking cool. So this is a mocapped fight, which they did not do with the original Clone Wars show and episodes. This is a fully mocapped fight of Ahsoka versus Darth Maul. And Darth Maul, the voice actor for Darth Maul is Sam Witwer, who is also the voice of Starkiller in the Force Unleashed games. So yes, I know too much of this shit, and we should watch this. It's very good.
Every choice you have made has led you to this moment.
You're not ready for how good this is.
I will help you. But you must answer one question.
You have but to ask.
What do you want with Anakin Skywalker?
He is the key to everything.
To bring balance to the Force?
To destroy. He has long been groomed for his role as my master's new apprentice.
You lie.
I'm afraid not. In fact,
yes, I have an
I
autistic
was so
knowledge of Star Wars
certain
fights.
of his fate that I orchestrated this war to lure him here with Kenobi, to kill him, thus depriving Sidious of his prized pupil.
I know Anakin.
Cool thing is, one of Ahsoka's sabers is shorter than the other.
Vision is flawed.
I see the Padawan needs one last lesson.
So I don't think Duel of the Fates is what's playing in the actual TV show. I think someone added this. Yeah, this is added.
You're lucky Anakin didn't show up. The way you're fighting, you wouldn't have lasted long.
You have Kenobi's arrogance.
Where is it without the... Here we go.
What do you want? The way you're fighting, you wouldn't have lasted long.
What's the actual fight? Oh, this is cooler. Why must Star Wars fans constantly retread the same fucking territory? It doesn't need to be set to Duel of the Fates. Like, leave Duel of the Fates as Duel of the Fates and stop trying to, like, shoehorn your fucking childhood memories into something else. Let new things be new. Also, a really interesting thing about Star Wars fights that you guys will also find very interesting. There are different fight styles, but Dan mentions it here. one of the cooler things is that in the traditional methods of fighting, the Jedi specifically believe that if you ignite and unignite, like if you turn your lightsaber on and off, that's considered dirty fighting. So remember that fight, I mean, one of the other best fights of all time, the throne room. That's, you know, playing with igniting and turning on and off lightsabers, and that was considered a dirty way of fighting. Yes, it's good. Yes, gosh, go ahead.
You're lucky Anakin didn't show up. The way you're fighting, you wouldn't have lasted long.
Oh, you have Kenobi's arrogance.
You'll find I have many qualities for you to dislike.
Thank you, Gosh. So Gosh just posted something cool. You can see how the behind the scenes for this.
Fighting. It's gonna be really Maul fighting.
Amazing to play Darth Maul again. We've just been hitting it hard, you know, coming up with some new stuff. It's been really nice. We're trying to do as much as we can, you know, butterfly twists and flips and corkscrews. You know, that'll be fun.
We get the speed of Maul. We get moves that are inherent to Rey.
He's a big dude.
Oh, you have Kenobi's arrogance.
You'll find I have many qualities for you to dislike.
And then I'm finally taking Rey's performance and Sam's performance and putting them together. To do that, though, I needed somebody that could, you know, portray Ahsoka physically.
I'm really honored to actually work with Ray Park. It's been nothing but a great journey, and we've been collaborating, and the fans will really like this fight. It's really grounded, rooted, but then there's a lot of action-y moves that I think the fans will really like.
Lauren was brilliant at really honing in on this style of sword fighting that we wanted Ahsoka to do. Very quick, very acrobatic. It's hopefully one of the best fights we did, if not the best lightsaber fight.
Filoni likes wolves, God. He really loved wolves.
Obi-Wan was right. You are difficult to kill.
Why does it sound like this now?
We could have destroyed Sidious.
Only for you to take his place.
I don't know why it sounds like this. Because it sounded normal.
Not.
Now it sounds bad.
Lord Maul, we must depart immediately.
Now it sounds good again. Like, if you think for a split second that Ahsoka Tano isn't like, wait, Ahsoka... She's so cool. She's my favorite character. This is after... I think it's after Order 66. And these troopers that have Ahsoka paint on them, she was like given them. She comes back briefly to like help Anakin, and he's like, here's your troopers that missed you. Ahsoka Vader fighting rebels, also great. stuff when we're doing this instead.
Nothing. 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 Everything down here is under maintenance.
There!
Get me over there. We've entered the atmosphere. Fire retro rockets. We've lost lateral control. We're gonna break apart.
So they've all turned on her because of Order 66. Yeah, this series is so good. Like, the final season of Clone Wars is great. I miss Acolyte too. So the reason why Rex is fine is because she removed his chip. So anyway, now that we're back to let's focus here a little bit, shall we? Shall we focus? Yeah, it's bad. I mean, Ahsoka Tano and the way that Ahsoka Tano was treated by the Jedi Order is the reason why Anakin officially turned. You know, and the Jedi Council and the Jedi Order's hubris, its inability to, flex with the times, its rigidity in these sort of draconian ideologies, it was why picking up Anakin, which was already something that was like a questionable choice. I mean, already what's the concept of like taking children and bringing them into this sort of like rigid structure and order and not allowing them to see their family anymore, all of that stuff. Thank you so much for the follow. Is already like gonna be bad, right? But when you do it with a kid like Anakin, who has had so much horrible things happen to him in his life already when he's a child, and who knows that like his mother is still going to suffer even if he gets a golden ticket away, to Coruscant. When you take that kid away from his mom and then you ask him to have no emotional allegiances or alliances to anyone anymore, and every single time he expresses emotion and frustration with his life and his situation and everything that he's been through, you stamp that out, or you attempt to stamp that out, and you tell him that he's wrong for what he's doing. And then you give him a Padawan that you then wrongfully accuse of bombing the Jedi Temple. She was framed. And then you essentially kick her out of the Order, and then Anakin goes out of his way to prove that it wasn't Ahsoka, and then they go, well, okay, you can come back. And she decides not to. That was what I think finally set the final nail, the final rivet in the Vader armor was what happened with Ahsoka. If you just would let them be, like, would you, like, look, I understand this, like, we're monks, but you're not monks. You fight people. And at this point, also, the Jedi Order was not just this sort of neutral order that would come around and you know, spread justice all around the galaxy. They were aligned with a political organization, and they were acting as like their army, like their army of fucking monks. So they're not monks and trying to be like, yeah, you should not have any love or attention or affection or allegiances to anyone else except the Jedi. Like, y'all set it up way too rigid. It was never going to be enough for people. I'm not a soldier who fires bazooka. Yeah, it's like we're all about peace, and then it's like, let's go sort out a trade problem. Like, why are you sending the monks to go do that? Religion and politics. Yeah, Jedi did not become soldiers until the war, but that's what I mean, is that they had already had an interesting / problematic structure for how you would become a Jedi. And then that just, all of the cracks and the problems that existed in the Jedi Order just got, you know, just spread when they became, you know, an arm of justice for the Republic. It's just like silly. I could talk Star Wars all day, especially Star Wars and the Force and the sort of like rigid, fucked up understanding that the Jedi have of the Force, because I'm a big Grey Jedi girl. I'm a big believer in the democratization of the Force. That's why I loved the Broom Kid in help me, the Rian Johnson one. Help me! Last Jedi. Took a second. That's why I loved all of that, because I thought the whole concept of the Force should be that if you have an ability to tap into this magical, you know, incredible thing that exists in the world, that's imbued, that all of the world is imbued with it, you should be you should be able to wield this power as well. And that's kind of what I thought the Star Wars world was, the path the Star Wars world was going down. And then they did Last Skywalker, and they were like, actually, it's nepotism. Apparently it's nepotism. Let's focus. We can do a Star Wars stream if you guys want. I would be very down. Oh, when is May the 4th this year? Oh, it's a Sunday. We can do a Star Wars themed stream. The Ewok movies. We can watch the Christmas special from like the 80s or the 70s, whenever that was. I would be very down to do a Star Wars stream. The Grey Jedi are the ones that are meant to be like the in-between balance. And I always thought that Ahsoka... Ooh, what's that noise? We're keepers of peace, not soldiers. 1 year later on Geonosis, Kiade Mundi orders flamethrowers on the natives. Grievous is cool. Oh, you talking about the Gennady Tartakovsky Clone Wars? That's a great Clone Wars cartoon. The one-off. Very cool. Hello, Eminent. Yeah, that's great. How do you say his name? Gennady Tartakovsky? That shit is sick. And also, that's where Asajj Ventress looks absolutely crazy. And she's like, and she talks like this. God, how many cigarettes do you think Asajj Ventress smoked to have that voice? Okay. We'll do a Star Wars stream, I promise. I promise. Let's focus. They're putting, yes, I know, they're putting Cristiano Ronaldo in Fatal Fury. 5 packs a day. Did you see the Tales of the Underworld trailer? They keep making Ventress hotter. I know. Bald and white and black goth girl vibes. Everyone looked weird. Yeah, the Tartakovsky had like a... It's so loud in my headset. It had a very distinct art style. So, focus. Focus, Alyssa. Focus, Alyssa. Focus. We need to focus. I also need to make sure that I don't have any apartments to see in the next, 5 minutes. I think we're okay. Can't wait. See you too. That's tomorrow. That's 5:15. Okay, we're good. So, it was loud for you too, sorry. I don't know why that's so loud. So as we were talking about the tariffs, which then got us sent down the rabbit hole of the Phantom Menace, which then got us watching Star Wars, the Clone Wars lightsaber fights, which then had me talking about the democratization of the Force. Let's talk about the democratization of Let's talk about the collapse of democracy, actually. So we found out today that the Switch 2 pre-orders are delayed over the Trump tariff uncertainty. So the Switch 2 is still coming out in June, but the pre-orders were supposed to open up next Wednesday, so a week from when the Nintendo Direct happened. But because these, let me just keep my calendar up to date. Because of these massive tariffs, Nintendo has decided to put a little pause on that. Oh my god, look at Ethan in here. Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders were due to begin on April 9th, are being delayed amid the financial uncertainties surrounding Donald Trump's recent announcement of massive tariffs. They will not start on April 9th. In order to assess the potential impact of tariffs and evolving market conditions, Nintendo said in a statement cited by Polygon, Nintendo will update timing at a later date. The launch date of June 5th, 2025 is unchanged. Nintendo announced launch details for the Switch 2 on Wednesday morning, just hours before Trump's afternoon Liberation Day press conference. So here's, you guys were saying Liberation Day in the chat with me on my birthday, and I truly did not know what the fuck y'all were talking about. I thought it was like something that I was missing, or that like, because I had not been paying attention to the regular news, I did not realize that that was what it was being called, and I did not realize that he had decided to name my birthday Liberation Day. So that's cool. I guess. Y'all were saying it in the chat. You're like, Happy Liberation Day. And I was like, I mean, it's just my birthday. Like, what am I being liberated from? Like, the shackles of not being in my mid-30s? Because now I'm in them. Like, I was so confused. But yeah, it turns out it was because that's what Donald Trump called April 2nd, 2025. A day that will forever live in infamy, you know? I really do want my 35th birthday to be associated with one of the worst modern presidential decisions in terms of finances for our country. You know, I love that. It's giving. You know, as someone who's not really good with her money, it's very on brand. I thought you were in your 20s. Taters, thank you. No, I'm 35. 35 and I spend money on my skincare and I wear SPF all the time and I have a youthful exuberance. You know what I mean? It keeps me young. So we know that this is now where we're at. The press conference announcing the biggest increase in import duties in modern U.S. history. Your birthday will be forever connected with the decline of the American empire. Hell yeah, brother. You know? The taxes on practically all goods imported into the United States are set to officially go into effect on April 9th, the same day Nintendo had planned to roll out Switch 2 pre-orders for qualified customers. When you hit 40, I'm calling you boomer, to be funny, if that's okay. Listen, and I say this with love and light in my heart, if I'm streaming at 40 years old, you can call me boomer, you can walk into my apartment, and you could shoot me with a gun. Because, like, I don't know how people do this regularly. Like, I thought I was going to be pretty decent at it, and I'm okay, but it is pretty draining. And, like, mad props. Yeah, clip it and save it. Yeah, because then you can show that in court. I stream at 40, please kill me. The thing is, I'm doing this as a way to kind of like circumvent the fact that I don't have a full-time job. But I don't think I'm cut out to be a full-blown, big-time streamer because I clearly have terrible ADHD. And I have like a finite social battery. And it kind of runs out after these streams. I'm like a little cantankerous afterwards, and I just don't know if I'm the kind of person to do it. I don't think that people in general should not be streaming at 40. I think I should not be streaming at 40, if that makes sense. Being in front of a camera on mic for hours is hard. Yeah, it's hard. And I mean, listen, this is one of the reasons why I was kind of saying that some of the people who shall not be named, who have made all of their content about denigrating me, you can tell that grifters became grifters because they don't have on-camera presence. They don't have the ability to be engaging on a live stream. I think I'm capable of doing those things, which is why I try and do like legitimate stuff, like talk about news, rather than like post videos of me shaking my ass and my boobs. Like, I know how many more viewers I would get if I did that. Hello? And I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with people who have no talent and who are unwilling to admit that what they're doing is sex work adjacent. And even if it is, that's cool. I have a problem with those people making their entire personalities about denigrating other things and just being angry about shit and being cruel. Because just say you can barely read and you're not good on camera and go. You know? Just say that you have no on-camera presence and personality and you could not make it on YouTube because you sound like a Muppet on ketamine or a housewife on lorazepam, and nobody thinks you're funny and interesting because you're not funny and interesting. So you decided to start making grift, angry, hate-filled content. I think that that's embarrassing. Hypocrisy. So the delay in the pre-order date comes out as outspoken gamers are making plenty of noise over the Switch 2's higher than expected price point and over the software pricing falling into the $70 to $80 range. Anyway, back to the Nintendo. Nintendo's promotional Treehouse streams, Muppet on ketamine. Do you guys know which one I'm talking about? Nintendo's promotional Treehouse streams showing Switch 2 gameplay have been inundated with a nonstop torrent of chatters demanding the company drop the price. Yeah, this is peak ADHD brain. Yet today's announcement... 245... Oh, this is the other place I want to look at. Oh, yeah, this is the place I want to look at. Oh, amazing, amazing, amazing. Can we come... Oh, this is an apartment. That's looking really good. We have a good option, guys. Nintendo might need to assess whether even a $450 price is feasible given the additional taxes the company will now have to pay to import systems manufactured in countries like China and Vietnam into the United States. Alternatively, Nintendo could eat the cost of any tariffs and sell its console hardware at a loss, as it has in the past, in an attempt to make that money back in software sales. We know that... excuse me. We know that Nintendo does not have a problem making money. Oh, Warframe creator who just came out with anti-trans stuff. Kingpin, send me that. 4 out of 10. It wasn't a great one. So Nintendo's not going to have a problem making money here, but it has to make a decision about how much of like an upfront loss it's going to take with the Switch and assume that it's going to make that money back in software, especially if those games are going to be $70 or $80. Nintendo could simply be taking a wait-and-see approach to assess whether Trump's tariffs actually go into effect as planned on April 9th. In recent months, Trump has sometimes pulled back from implementing announced tariff plans at the last minute because homie has no consistency, because nobody like this has any consistency, because their mind changes the way that a dandelion flies through the wind. Today, I'm angry about Mexican people. Tomorrow, I'm angry about Canada. The next day, I'm mad that there's a trans woman placing 25th out of 29 in fucking fencing. You can't focus if you're stupid and you're angry. And you can't be consistent if you're stupid and you're angry. That's why you see these grifters having all this infighting, because they're incapable of remaining consistent about anything, because their ideologies, their beliefs, and their morals will change at the drop of a literal dime because they're for sale. According to this, Switch 2 in Japan will have 2 different versions. A Japanese language-only version is $334, and a multi-language system is $467. I have no idea why that would be an over $100 difference. Nintendo has already announced that its domestic Japanese market will be getting a special version retailing for $343. That low-cost alternative to the international edition will have only Japanese available as the system language in an attempt to prevent international scalpers and resellers from profiting off of the historically weak Japanese yen. So that's why it's cheaper. That strange language-based soft region lock, which seems only tangentially related to recent U.S. tariffs concerns, prompted Duolingo's social media team to joke that gamers can learn Japanese to save $133. Except don't use Duolingo because they fired half of their staff and only use AI, and now it fucking sucks. So don't do that. Stock markets worldwide have seen massive drops in less than 2 days since the announcement of Trump's tariff plans, because we can't stop winning, gamers, and the announcement of retaliatory tariffs from countries like China. As of this writing, Nintendo's Japanese stock is down roughly 8% since the Wednesday morning Switch 2 announcement, falling well below its recent average price. Yes, Duolingo is now infested with AI, and you cannot get through a single lesson without getting inundated with ads unless you pay for the premium version. And as somebody who I'm going back through my Italian language classes. And I'm going through the first couple of things really fast because I remember it. Duolingo does not work for me because I blow through a lesson in less than a minute, and then I have to watch a 60-second long ad over and over and over again. So fuck Duolingo, fuck that owl. I hope it's endangered. So there's also other things that are being affected by these tariffs. And like we said earlier, was that boyfriend Mercante in the background? It was boyfriend Mercante in the background. He's not known as that though. He's camera shy. Trump style of negotiations.
Any equipment in the park department, whether it be in forestry, in shops, or out in the field, the trucks belong to the motor vehicle operators. That's their title in the city of New York, to drive all equipment for the city of New York. You have a man getting $13,000 driving a vehicle which is out of title, and a man...
Wow, this is kind of what it's like. So, it's not just Nintendo hardware that's going to be affected by this. It is, like we were saying earlier, physical discs that will be affected by this because they're primarily printed in Mexico. It'll be parts. Remember in 2020 when there was a chip shortage and all of the new consoles were like suffering in terms of stock? Is that the word I'm thinking of? They just didn't have enough chips to meet the demand. Supply and demand. That's what I'm thinking of. Fuck Duolingo. Wait, did you just clip this? I can't, guys. So fuck Duolingo, fuck that owl. I hope it's endangered. Thank you. So, as Luke, friend, former Kotaku writer, big time cool dude from Australia, Luke Plunkett, just wrote about how one of the other main things that are going to be affected by tariffs is board games. She said the Apple Store was swamped, Dan. She theorized that people are buying what they want now. Dude. Actually, hold on. I'm muting myself. So I just asked boyfriend who does landscape stuff if it also affects what he does. Not so much the plants, but like the custom planters and like irrigation and shit like that. He said that a lot of it comes from Canada. So even landscape work, landscape design, that's going to be affected by this. It's going to be affected by this, guys. So if you're thinking of pivoting into plants, nothing is safe from the tariffs of an idiot. So the biggest thing, though, I think, is the conversation. And I am working on a piece for Rolling Stone that's going to be probably going up Monday or Tuesday about the wide-reaching impact of tariffs on the video game and board gaming industry. So keep an eye out. Tariffs are going to kill board gaming as we know it, by Luke. Board gaming, which during the 2010s was an ascendant medium and an industry finally finding its feet after decades of being seen as child's play, was rocked in 2020 by the pandemic, whose disruptions to manufacturing and shipping costs sent a lot of companies to the wall. I'm going to drop this one in chat. My RS work has been dope. Thank you so much, Dan. My dad works for a small fireplace and patio company. He's going to be affected by this too. Yeah. Was rocked in 2020 by the pandemic, whose disruptions to manufacturing and shipping costs sent a lot of companies to the wall. 5 years later, those challenges seem quaint compared to what's coming in the wake of the Trump administration's tariffs announcement. Like most other businesses around the world, many board game companies have been using Chinese manufacturing for years. In most countries, it's the only way to get components made for commercial purposes, since local manufacturing capabilities, or at least those capable of operating at the scale necessary to keep costs down, simply don't exist. Call your senators and congresspersons to complain. Yes, thank you. The imposition of a 54% tariff, that's so crazy, on goods imported from China will have a cataclysmic effect on the entire industry. A statement put out by publisher Steve Jackson Games earlier today puts those numbers into context. On April 5th, a 54% tariff goes into effect on a wide range of goods imported from China. For those of us who create board games, this is not just a policy change, it's a seismic shift. At Steve Jackson Games, we are actively assessing what this means for our products, our pricing, and our future plans. We know that we can't absorb this kind of cost increase without raising prices. We've done our best over the past few years to shield players and retailers from the full brunt of rising freight costs and other increases, but this new tax changes the equation entirely. Here are the numbers. A product we might have manufactured in China for $3 last year could now cost $4.62 before we even ship it across the ocean. Add freight, warehousing, fulfillment, and distribution margins, and that once $25 game quickly becomes a $45 product. That's not a luxury upcharge. It's survival math. Games Workshop is about to get more expensive. Oh yeah, I act moderate. Hell yeah. It's like when I talk to my mom. Extrapolate that math. $40 games going to $60, $60 games becoming $90 games, and you can see how quickly this gets away from both publishers and retailers. That's something the industry representative group in the US, the Game Manufacturers Association, is all too aware of, saying in a statement today that the latest imposition of a 54% tariff on products from China by the administration is dire news for the tabletop industry and the broader US economy. As an industry highly dependent on producing goods overseas and importing them into the US, this policy will have devastating consequences. These consequences won't just hit publishers and retailers. Polygon's Charlie Hall broke down how an entire ecosystem of board game businesses could now face extinction. From distributors to studios who have kickstarted a game recently but are yet to manufacture their game, to TTRPG companies who are already canceling production runs. Even companies outside the US are in trouble. Like so many other industries, from cars to electronics, the United States is one of, if not the, single biggest market for board games. Even studios and publishers based in Europe could be looking at huge drops in sales, whether because of tariffs placed on their own exports or just because Americans are about to have a lot less expendable income to spend on things like board games. I know board games aren't going to be grabbing the headlines in the same way cars and electronics will be amidst all this political chaos, but seeing how deeply these proposed tariffs will impact even your hobbies shows how destructive they're going to be, not just to the wider American economy, but your downtime as well. And adding to that, we've got ESA, which is the US trade group that reps all major gaming companies. This is from Stephen Totillo at GameFile, big fan. They're saying that the tariffs are going to have real and detrimental impact on the video game industry. Trump announced steep tariffs on dozens of countries yesterday, continuing his current administration's efforts to smash things and see what holds together. Stephen, what a great way to put it. ESA Senior Vice President Aubrey Quinn tells GameFile that gaming hardware, including consoles, are likely to take a big hit due to the new levies. These machines are made in some of the countries hit with big tariffs yesterday. Beyond that, their parts are sourced from multiple countries, and the devices often cross into the US multiple times as they are made and prepped for retail. Any one product that a consumer would buy is likely to be subject to many of the tariffs announced, all compounded on top of one another. The new Trump tariffs were announced yesterday and include a 46% levy on Vietnam and 34 or 54% on goods from China. And I don't know why it's unclear, because he's an idiot, probably, but here's... China has this 34, there were already 20%, so is that 34 on top of that, meaning it's 54%? I believe it is. Oh my god. Nintendo got hit extra hard because they preempted tariffs against Japan, moved their factories to Vietnam and then got hit even harder with Vietnam's tariff rate. Yeah, just call into your local representative and be like, well, now, these tariffs are kind of like an onion. There's a lot of layers. They compound on top of each other. Makes no sense. It intrigues me, though. Hang on, I'm getting a phone call. Who the fuck is this? No. In recent years, yep, this is exactly what chat was just saying. In recent years, moved the bulk of its console manufacturing to Vietnam, announced the launch price of the Switch 2 yesterday at $450, a price increase over the one's launch cost, even when adjusted for inflation. In Japan, where the system isn't subject to US tariffs, a Japanese language-only version of the system, locked to users who designate their accounts as being based in Japan, will sell for the equivalent of $343. Oh, I need to text my friend. Oh, no. We're good on that. The ESA, like others, believes this tariff story is far from over, with the risk of retaliatory tariffs looming. I think what we heard yesterday is not the end of the story, not for the United States, not for other countries. So, yeah, we can't stop winning, gamers. All of the right-wing gamers, one of whom, the biggest one, is Mark Hearn / Grums, who loves to talk about how they keep winning because Trump is president. I would love to know what he thinks about this. Actually, I don't want to know what he thinks about this. I don't want to know what he thinks about fucking anything. I would like him to just, you know, fade into obscurity. I'm hoping to find this Emma Frost video. I don't understand how they're doing a new character every month. Don't understand the sustainability. So there's two things that I want to say and talk about very, very quickly. Do we have the Emma Frost gameplay grabbable that's high quality? That is completely going to get TOS'd, but if you want to, that is very funny. I don't want to watch the one that's really badly, is this her? We got it. So, last thing before we get in, I have to go look at more apartments that I will hopefully, one of which will hopefully be my future home, and you guys will eventually see in the background of my streams. I want to talk a little bit about Rivals and the new character coming out, Emma Frost. Now, here's the thing. I think that it is a little bit... Emma Frost is hot. Like, no one is denying that Emma Frost is hot. I have two problems here. Number one problem is, like, it's just another hot white chick, which I think we already have plenty of in that game. However, the body representation is a little bit different than the other women in the game, in the sense that she's fucking huge. She's, you know, like a Lady Demetrius type ass bitch. Big, thick thighs, tall as a motherfucker, and she's a tank. She has a choke slam ability. Like, we know exactly what we're doing here. But my other issue, not only the fact that it's just like another attractive white blonde woman, is that her outfit design is so similar. Like, her costume design is so similar to Sue Storm and Dagger that it's just kind of like girly Poppyana. Like, we could have done more with this. And I know there was someone kind of talking about it and saying, you guys need more gays on your team because these outfits are way too similar. And also, like, I think Emma Frost's outfit is just kind of ugly, personally. Like, I do not understand the boots. Why are they not thigh highs? None of it really makes any sense to me. Like, these all look the same. Like, these are all, they have the same skin tone, they have blue eyes, they have blonde hair. Their blondes are even, like, almost the exact same color. Like, this is a very similar character design, and it also doesn't make any sense that they would all be white and blue. Like, Sue Storm could do the black and blue. Here we go. Like, they're saying right here. Dagger should have used more yellows. Sue's default should have been black and blue. Emma shouldn't have used blue at all. And somebody did an updated design, which is like Emma's hair is like a more white blonde, which I think makes a lot of sense. And she's like crystally white and purple. Then Sue just could have been white and blue. And then Dagger, again, her hair's whiter. It's a little bit more platinum rather than this like honey blonde that Sue is. And then her outfit is white and yellow. So how much of this has to do with the swiftness of the pacing of their output? Like, already a character a month is absolutely fucking insane. And I don't really understand, and I don't know if we'll ever, or at least anytime soon, get a proper look at the actual work, what the environment is like there, and if there's any sort of work-life balance, and how much these devs are being asked to work. Because that is a very unsustainable, untenable amount of output for a live service game. And I think the cracks are already showing. I posted a video the other day of how like Jeff's ult is still completely bugged. And stuff like this is a really like hard reminder that like she looks like every other bitch. Like, it's... They dropped a new skin for Emma? Yeah, I sent it to you. You sent it to me? Thank you. Oh, thank you. They just dropped a new skin for her. Oh, it's a video. How did you download the video, Shane? I have my sources. Okay, hold on. I gotta send this to myself so I can bring it up on stream. Thank you so much for the follow. I love that I have you listening in the background, babe. Would be awesome to get some ladies of color, yeah. Yeah. They cut their staff. It's just a lot. It's a lot. I just emailed myself, I believe, the video that my boyfriend just sent me from the other room. He's absolute. I just want you guys to know that he is allowed to goon to Emma Frost. We are thick thigh. We are fans of thick thighs in this house, and he is free to goon as much as he wants to Emma Frost. Just we need to be aware of this, okay? And clearly, he's finding fucking and downloading videos of her new skin, so I think he's enjoying it. Okay, we are going to bring up... Actually, I don't want to bring that up. I don't want you to see my fucking Gmail, you freaks. Let me bring this up in a window that is not going to show all of my shit. They cut the entire studio that was based in the US. Yes. That is correct. They cut the entire studio that was based in the US. So I'm going to open this up after we watch the first. Cute. Okay. So here is the trailer for Emma Frost. And there's a lot of changes also coming to Rivals in terms of adjustments to kits, nerfs, buffs, all over the shop. Sad to say, Shane, did I read correctly that they're getting rid of the frozen spawn of Namor with Luna? Yeah, I think I saw that. So here's the trailer for Emma Frost in Marvel Rivals. And guys, I need you to keep your goon levels to like a normal level. Just try it.
The White Queen's reign begins. You deserved that,
she has
dear.
some sort of beam ability.
Mind crush.
And she can shoot her shield forward like Sigma in Overwatch. My boyfriend says she kind of feels like Sigma in Overwatch.
Impervious.
Here's the choke slam. Here's the choke slam.
Pathetic. How embarrassing.
The jiggle.
Kneel, peasants! That's White Queen mind control.
Her legs are kind of crazy. So here's her other... She does kind of look like Hunter Schafer, but Hunter Schafer's not thick. I mean, Hunter Schafer got some boobies, but she don't got the legs, you know? Those are some legs. So this is the trailer for her other skin.
Your mind is mine. Impervious. Kneel, peasants!
What the fuck is this? Look at this. See, this is the kind of thing, like, I love the gooning, like, no matter what anyone will tell you, like, I am pro-goon. Like, as long as your goon is not unethical, immoral, or straight up illegal, I'm cool with the goon. But what I don't understand is you making me think, even for a split second, that any person in their right mind would wear this into battle. Because what is keeping her titties in? You know what I mean? Like, this is... I'm not wearing double-sided tape to go beat the piss out of Captain America. Like, if I'm going to choke slam Captain America, I'm wearing a very nice supportive sports bra. Psychic powers. You guys are both... You're all sickos. You're all fucking sickos. The glue, psychic powers, fashion tape. Yeah. I mean, the titties, how are they staying in? It's crazy. They are they are. Dude, that is the most insane skin I've ever seen in my life. It's egregious. It's egregious. The point is to give the hope that they'll flop out. I mean, yeah, obviously. And look, you hear her voice lines. She's like, kneel, peasants. She's like, pathetic. It's Dami Mommy more so than any other character that we've seen so far in Rivals. Like, this is just unabashed sipping. And I think that's cool. You know, I'm totally fine with it. I would like to see a little bit more variety in terms of the way that these white bitches look. Oh my god, wait, I need to do this. Oh my god, wait. Can I get 3 more of these blonde? This is my tweet. We're gonna do it. We just came up with a tweet in real time. I just want, thank you. Okay, we just came up with a tweet in real time, guys. Marvel Rivals devs. Okay, did you guys see that? It's a pretty good tweet. Marvel Rivals devs. Actually, can I have 5 more of these little blonde bitches? Yeah, you've seen the inner workings of my mind. Welcome to the sanctum sanctorum of my fucking shit posting. You know? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. So yes, Emma Frost is here. She's probably queer. It's giving, yeah. She's here, she's queer. The jiggle physics are absolutely absurd. Look at this titty shake as soon as she comes in. Let me tell you something right now. Okay, this outfit is atrocious, and I will maintain, I will stand by what I mean. I do not think this is a good outfit. The X's on the boots, it's not good. You need more gay people on your design team. You need more queens, you need more dolls, because this outfit is kind of busted. There are so many things that we could do here with her look that would still be slutty and sexy and not be so fucking dumb. Like, the X's on the boots are stupid. I hate it. They should have been thigh highs. Like, there are so many other options that we could have gone, like, paths we could have gone down that I think would have had a much better, like, vibe. Because I just think this is, like, just supremely boring. Like, even this. Like this getting, like, a little bit, like, cute cold vibes. I love. Like, but the boots, the way that they are right now, and the fit, it's just not fitting. It's not giving. Like, I think this is kind of criminally ugly. It's just not really my thing. Emma Frost's other outfit makes Mai's default one look reasonable. Oh, yeah, seriously. Yeah, like, this outfit is, like, this is tame compared. Yeah, fan artists work very fast. Again, this is the goon. This is the Rule 34. These are the rules of the goon. You guys gotta know. We got time on our hands. We got InDesign on our iPad. We got porn on the TV, and we are making ourselves some fucking goon. Yeah, Marvel Rivals fans are having trouble telling all of the blondes apart. No, but actually, like, why are they all white and blue? Why do they all have the exact same tits? Like, look at the size of Dagger's tits. Like, here's the one thing I will say. Small titty representation should happen here as well. She looks like every other bitch. Like, give me a small titty. Like, small titties are hot. But these bitches all look the same. And they're almost like their hair color is very similar. She should be an icier blonde. She should be an icier blonde. She should be the mom honey blonde. I'm fine with that. But this, it's just it's too samey. And we might be seeing more of this if we keep getting this new hero a month, new hero a month, new hero a month. Like, girl, let it cook for a little bit. Let it cook. You know, let that simmer. Let that simmer. I need to go look at an apartment very soon, so we are going to raid. Does anyone have a raid preference idea leaning towards queer folks, women of color, or otherwise fun marginalized people? I would love to send a fun raid. I shot you a DM. I'm a bit of an unorganized mess right now, Eminent, but I will try and take a. What was it on? Was it on Discord? I'm kind of all over the shop right now. I'm trying to tighten my pussy up. So glad I joined the boob talk. Yeah, Discord. Okay, I'll check. We're gonna raid. Anyone have any good people to raid? Sadi is not on. Okay. Whoa, is she on right now? Thank you so much. Shaz Shangari. They have a rad accent. Oh, Harpy, yeah. Okay, guys, so what I also want to have, and maybe we can... Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry it was kind of like fast and loose and we were all over the place. Yeah, the Discord link is broken. I need to fix it. We are going to go raid. And next time we stream, we're going to make a list of like people we should consider in the raid rotation. Because I think it would be fun. Coffee. You guys be good. Be great. We're going to go enjoy ourselves. Hopefully find an apartment. Have a good weekend or else. Okay, goodbye.